comedy movies ever made, entertain you from beginning to end. The combination of humor and amusement with a sense of sexy visuals and scenes appeal teenagers and youngsters to an utmost level. Welcome to DLP Movies, and let's count down top 10 best sex comedy movies ever made. Don't forget to support us and subscribe to our channel. Revenge of the Nerds. A college fraternity that houses the school's socially awkward, the class's sporting set decides to exact the revenge on the football players who repeatedly humiliated them. This is not only entertaining and funny, but it contains what has to be considered a blueprint for success in campus comedy. Take lots of people getting drunk, jocks ostracizing nerds from their way of life, the weak rising up to take back what is just as much a right as it is to others, and of course lots of nudity featuring an abundance of gorgeous women. What made Revenge work is that it didn't try to pretend to be something that it wasn't. This was an exploitive sex fest and it worked well. What it also had was a funny script and one that we could all relate to. Besides being extremely funny, this film touched on something that we all can relate to. Superbad. Two high school seniors try to come out with a bang before school ends. These two best friends are indeed losers and sit alone at the lunch table. But, before school ends, they want to at least get into a party, get the girl, and just be remembered. The movie is astonishingly foul-mouthed, but in a fluent, confident way where the point isn't the dirty words, but the flow and rhythm, and the deep, sad yearning they represent. Superbad is a movie about partying and getting wasted and getting the girl, but as the night wears on, much wisdom is gained too, about self, friendship and the end of teenage innocence in all its wondrous, terrifying splendor. Superbad is cruder, ruder, a bit more focused on the sex and alcohol jokes. National Lampoon's Animal House. Favorite college has one frat house so disreputable it will take anyone. It has a second one full of white, Anglo-Saxon, rich young men who are so sanctimonious no one can stand them except Dean Wormer.
Well, have you?
I have, sir. I know it's a little below par at the moment.
It's more than a little below par, Mr. Hoover. It stinks!
The dean enlists the help of the second frat to get the boys of Delta House off campus. The dean's plan comes into play just before the homecoming parade to end all parades for all time. National Lampoon's Animal House presents a subversive and funny screenplay, and the talents by John Landis in direction and John Belushi in the cast. Animal House, for sure, is a great inspiration for the 80s comedy movies, and to an unforgettable generation of comedians and to everyone that lived these time, crude humor and good entertaining. Easily one of the best teen sex comedies of all time and quite possibly the best frat comedy ever made. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. A look at the lives and loves of a group of high school students. It's the final year of high school for Brett Hamilton, who decides he should break up with his longtime girlfriend to play the field. He's at a loss, however, when she breaks up with him first. Jeff Spicoli continues to take delight in getting under the skin of his teacher, Mr. Hand. Others are looking for love, sex and just plain having a good time, which, for the most part, they all seem to find those sometimes in unexpected places.
Brad Hamilton, the fast food king.
I shall serve no fries before their time.
It says 100% guaranteed, you moron. Mister, if you don't...
Although not as knee-slapping hilarious as other teen comedy films, this film is still a terrific comedic gem of the 1980s. This film has set the standard for many teen comedies that would follow in the subsequent years. There's some good gags on screen, the cast is terrific, and though at times the film shows its imperfections, for the most part it succeeds at being an entertaining film. Wedding Crashers. Two friends, John and Jeremy, crash weddings to pick up women. One day they crash the wedding of the daughter of the Treasury Secretary, Secretary Cleary.
That will bring them to their knees.
I always knew my first time would be on a beach.
First time?
We're gonna be so happy to...
Instead of short-term flings, they end up being invited to the Cleary's Island estate, and potentially meet the loves of their lives. a body summer comedy for adults and mature teens. This movie features rapid-fire dialogue and sincere affection between best friend leads and strong chemistry between the actors who portray them. Wedding Crashers is machine-tooled for the male demographic, congratulatory stuff for the guys, with some propitiatory romance tacked on for the dates, in approximately the same cynical spirit as its own character's seduction plays. Wedding Crashers was an unexpected box office smash, grossing $285 million worldwide on a $40 million budget, and is credited with helping to revive the popularity of adult-oriented, R-rated comedies. EUROTRIP. EUROTRIP takes a group of teenagers from the US on an unforgettable trip around Europe.
Because it makes you go crazy. They call it the Green Fairy.
Jamie's hooking up with another girl.
Oh my God!
Here's a fun fact. You made it.
After Scotty Thomas realizes he has made a terrible mistake, he and his best friend set off to put things right, and they run into some other friends in the process. They visit Paris, Amsterdam, London and many more places, which are all given a very amusing stereotypical makeover from an American viewpoint. With a strong cast, plenty of well-written gags and an overall cheesy script, EUROTRIP is definitely a winner. You'll find plenty of dirty jokes and sexual innuendo, bathroom humor and nudity, but mixed with the sleaze is the unexpected and occasionally inspired. The 40-year-old virgin. Andy at the age of 40 still hasn't had sex. He lets his secret slip at a poker game with his buds from work.
Andy Stitzer has lost a lot of girlfriends.
After the revealing, all his friends are on a mission to help get him laid. Along the way, Andy meets a nice mom, Trish, and they fall head over heels for each other. Here's a movie that could have had the same title and been a crude sex comedy with contempt for its characters. Instead, the 40-year-old virgin is surprisingly insightful, as body comedies go, and it has a good heart and a lovable hero. This film is a must-see for anyone with an open mind and a slightly twisted sense of humor. The language is filthy, the jokes are very crude, and the sex talk is about as graphic as you'll find anywhere. What's amazing, however, is that the movie is still a sweet love story. The Girl Next Door. Boy meets girl who's already met all sorts of boys and girls in this teen-slanted comedy.
What? Matt, what?
Matthew Kickman is a straight-laced and highly ambitious high school student who plans to study at Georgetown University and dreams of a career in politics. While most of his classmates are in the throes of an epidemic of senioritis, Matthew is obsessed with schoolwork and has a hard time relaxing and having fun. But he finds himself a bit less focused on his future career when Danielle, a beautiful 19-year-old blonde, moves in next door. Danielle is playful, spontaneous, and doesn't always remember to draw her shades, and before long Matthew is head over heels in love. Danielle soon finds herself taken with Matthew as well, but the relationship takes an unusual turn when he discovers that, before she moved to town, Danielle had a successful career as a porn actress. Matthew is able to convince Danielle that she's cut out for better things in life than appearing in porn videos. But his advice doesn't especially please Callie or Hugo, two porn moguls who figure Matthew owes them big time. After convincing the leading lady to drop out of the adult industry, The Girl Next Door, which, appropriately enough, shares its title with the 1999 documentary about adult film superstar Stacey Valentine. American Pie 2. The whole gang are back and as close as ever. They decide to get even closer by spending the summer together at a beach house. They decide to hold the biggest party ever to be seen, even if the preparation doesn't always go to plan. Especially when Stifler, Finch and Jim become more close to each other than they ever want to be, and when Jim mistakes superglue for lubricant. American Pie 2 Inches is a situational comedy in the strictest sense, depending entirely on creative sexual adventures to further the movie along.
A thing for two human beings
Dad,
to
what
do.
are you doing?
This is human nature at its best. Son, everybody does it. Your mother and I, well, not so much anymore, but we...
Oh my God, that's cheating!
No.
There is no plot and really no story. This is a roundabout sexual comedy all the way. The problem is that after a while, The situations and the jokes can get old when the filmmakers have nothing else to depend on. The characters are fresh and likable. Some of the situations are fun. The dialogue is sometimes clever. The movie feels some sympathy for the dilemmas, and because it's obsessed with sex. American Pie. At a high school party, 4 friends, Jim, Kevin, Finch, and Oz, find that losing their collective virginity isn't as easy as they had thought, but they still believe that they need to do so before college. To motivate themselves, they enter a pact to try to be the first to score.
All night. I'm exhausted.
I don't get it. I mean, how the hell did you do that?
It was just my time. It was just my time. Best of luck to you boys.
And of course, the senior prom is their last best chance. As the fateful date draws near, the boys wonder who among them will get lucky. More importantly, do they really want to do it at all? American Pie shows us how little boys know about sex going into it, and how little the act really teaches them about it as well. But the true joy, for us in the audience anyway, is the chase. Vulgar and heartwarming. What is your favorite movie from the list? Let us know below and do not forget to subscribe.